Finding the right digiscoping adapter is absolutely essential to capturing some of the most important memories you're ever going to experience while hunting. For years, phone scope was literally the only decent option for adapting your smartphone to your spotting scope or binoculars. But in the past few years, the market has absolutely exploded with options. I asked you guys which ones were most important to you, and I assembled the most requested 5 adapters. So today, we're gonna look at the MagView, the full frame, on glass, Ollin, and mountain mag. Each of these have taken their own unique approach to adapting your phone to your spotting scope. Lots of pros, lots of cons. And after using these across a variety of hunting situations for the last 7 months, I have come up with a list of 10 categories across which I'm going to score and rank each of these to try and decide which one of them is best. Now, those 10 categories are price, adapter compatibility, optic installation, leave-on adapter, phone installation, phone case compatibility, Magsafe compatibility, ease of use, portrait landscape ability, and 5x lens ability. As usual, I'm using a forced ranking scoring system. So the best adapter in each category will get a 1, second best 2, third best 3, so on and so forth. I do this for 2 primary reasons. If I just scored them at a 10, everybody would end up a 7 because psychologically that's where people tend to gravitate. And if I gave the best spotter a higher scope, the review data would not be future compatible. So I can come back in 3 years, I can examine 5 new digiscoping adapters, and whatever gets first place, that score will be relatable to whatever gets first place here today. Before we dive into the results, quick little update. Bear season is quickly approaching. So I have any weapon spring black bear hunts available in British Columbia. These start early May and they go all the way through June 15th. I still have a few openings left for this year. These are going to be done out of a wall tent with a stove. You can do rifle, you can do archery. There's spot and stock, big coastal black bears in the mountains of British Columbia. So if you're interested in getting in on one of these hunts, I still got a couple deals left available because it's the first year I've taken over this area and I want to, show my appreciation to new clients. So if you're interested, jay@mindfulhunter.com. Come on over to British Columbia. Let's go find a giant black bear. Diving right into price. So for most of these adapters, there are 2 prices. There's the price for the component that goes on your phone, and there's the price for the component that goes on your spotting scope. There's a couple exceptions to that, but basically if we just add up the out the door price, coming in first place, full frame, $79.99. Second place, on glass, $105. Third place, mountain mag, $132.99. Fourth place, Ollin, $174.98. And fifth place, MagView, $184.98. All of those prices are in USD. This next category of adapter compatibility was meant to score how many devices you could use the same adapter on. This is the adapter for the Ollin. This adapter is specifically suited to the Swaro ATX series spotting scopes. You can see it slides right on and fits perfectly. Benefit of that, fits perfectly to this optic. Drawback of that, it only fits this optic. If I take this Maven S3 over here, it has a different size eyepiece, so I have to go buy a different size adapter. Now for Ollin, this particular piece costs $134.99. So every time you want to put your phone case onto a different optic, you need to go drop another $135. Now on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have full frame outdoors. Now this is a universal adapter. You only buy one, it's $74.99, and it goes on any optic. Now, the drawback of that is kind of fit, finish, ease of installation in the whole 9 yards. But if we are just looking at adapter compatibility, first place, full frame, one device will go on a mini spotter, a regular size spotter, and a binocular. It has this kind of nice dial here at the side, and when you twist that, you can see this component here comes out, changing the circumference with the band. Second place, we have MagView. Now, this is already mounted here on the Maven S3. There's one universal optic adapter for MagView for full-size spotters, one for mini spotters, and one for binoculars. Now, you do need a tool to install that, but you pay the $169.99 for that adapter and it's good on all your optics. Third place is on glass. So there are two components to the on glass adapter. There's the one that goes on the optic, and then this sleeve is what goes on here, clicks on, you leave it on, and that attaches to the phone. But there are 8 different sizes for the on glass adapters. So they fit a different family of spotting scopes. So there's a chance that if you own 2 spotting scopes, they fall within the family. For this particular example of the Swaro ATX and the Maven S3, they require different adapters, so you still have to buy 2 adapters for those particular models. And then tied in 4th place is the Mountain Mag. You can see the optics adapter here for the Mountain Mag, and the Ollin, which I mentioned previously. They are both product-specific adapters. I am not going to do an exhaustive installation video for each of these. Whichever one you choose to go with, there is great installation how-to videos on all of the respective companies' websites, and this video would get way too long if I started showing how to install intricately every single one of these. When we go to the Optic Installation, tied for first place, for some of the reasons we just mentioned, is Mountain Mag and Ollin, because they're both perfectly engineered to one particular optic. You literally slide it on, you're done. Second place is on glass. This is also a slide-on adapter, but because it's meant to fit a variety of optics with a similar diameter optical lens, there are these kind of friction cutouts here, and it comes with a series of elastic bands that you can slide in this groove that create more inward pressure. So if it's a little bit sloppy, you can tighten it up with some of those elastic bands. Now, in 3rd place is MagView. This one requires tools, as I already mentioned, and that to me is a bit of a drawback. There's this one Allen key in here, and then when you open it up, there's another ring on this inside that needs to be tightened first. But I have had this come loose on me before in the field. Now, I usually have Allen keys, in my Leatherman, or because I use a lot of camera gear. But if you didn't, that's a pretty serious drawback. And then in last place is full frame. Now, one of the nice things about full frame is its universal compatibility. One of the drawbacks about full frame is it's one of the more difficult ones to install and retain perfect alignment, whether you want that portrait or landscape, because basically there's this rubber band, and as you pull it, it gets tighter. But trying to hold that on your spotting scope, tighten this, and keep it aligned in the perfect place gets a little complicated. And because this one tends to be a little more flush with the face of the optic lens, the phone ends up being very close, and you have to spin this all the way out in order to get enough eye relief for the camera lens to get a full framed picture. Otherwise, if you leave this screwed in, you just end up with a small black dot in the middle of the screen. And sometimes you got to remember which way to put this on, because if you mount this in the wrong direction, as soon as you put the weight of your phone on this, it will spin it closed. And if that's the case, you just take this, flip it over, and then the weight gets placed this way and it doesn't spin it closed. But for all those kind of issues added up, that's why it came in last place. This next category is called leave on adapter. Now, I don't like having to take things on and off my optic regularly. That was one of the problems with the phone scope. I lost phone scope adapters, on a couple of different occasions. I also don't like big bulky things on my spotting scope when it's in my backpack. If my backpack falls, if I get caught on a branch as I'm walking by a tree, if anything tugs at it, I don't want any undue pressure on the optics that doesn't have to be there. So you get a higher score for having a slimmer profile and being able to be left on the optic. So tied in first place is MagView, Ollin, and On Glass. Both the Ollin and the On Glass are fairly straightforward, slip on. They both come with nice lens covers. The MagView one is fairly interesting because it's kind of permanently affixed and permanently has a lens cover. One drawback of this is that if you put this on the wrong side, you won't be able to put your face, depending on what your dominant eye is. You won't be able to put your face close enough because the bridge of your nose is going to end up hitting this. So I found I had to have it off to my non-dominant side and angled down slightly in order to stay out of my way. But it's pretty nice, stays on there, it's very tight, and you can leave it on in your pack and you don't have to worry about anything dangling when you take it off to glass. Now coming in at second place is the Mountain Mag. The nice thing about the Mountain Mag is that it slips on and off. It comes with this really nice kind of innovative lens cover. The issue is this hole right here I found a little bit too small to glass through. So when I get where I'm going, normally it comes with this nice little leash. We open it up and bring it over here, tighten it up around the throat. And when you get where you're going, you basically just slip off your lens cover, do your glassing. When you want to take a picture with your phone scope, you put this back on, you slide this off, your phone case goes on like that, and your phone scoping. And then in third place is the full frame. This is not meant to be left on your spotting scope. You can see that it's quite large and sticks off to the side. You would not want this sticking out of the side of your backpack. The designer of this says he loosens it and kind of just leaves it hanging. I don't like that. I would take it right off and probably carry it in the hip belt pocket of my backpack. You can do whatever you want with it, but it comes in last place because you cannot leave that one on. And it does not come with a lens cover anyways, so you would still need to save the lens cover for your optic lens. Now we're gonna look at the complexity of phone installation of the adapter. So tied in first place is MagView, Mountain Mag, and Ollin. In all of these, it is super simple. With MagView, you literally just take this magnetic plate and place it on the back of your phone case. And because the way the MagView works, you can kind of put this anywhere you want and you will be able to center the camera lens wherever you need to. The Ollin is the only one that comes with a proprietary case that you have to use. So obviously that installation is super simple. You just take your phone, put it in the case, and you're automatically centered with the adapter. And then, as I mentioned, the Mountain Mag is Magsafe compatible, which means that all you have to do is take it on the back of your phone and it links up to there's a circular MagSafe ring here of a magnet on your phone and it locks into place. It's kind of interesting. I did not know until the launch of this that there was also a line of magnet that came down off of the ring, so you can use that to align this on either your 1x lens, which is a 24mm lens, or your 5x lens, which is a 120mm lens. Coming in at second place is On Glass. On Glass comes with much like the MagView, a magnet that needs to be installed on the back of your phone case. And then they ship with an alignment tool, which is basically a piece of paper that has a cutout this size and then a small dot that you place over your camera lens, and that tells you where to place this magnet. I give it like a 7 out of 10. It's hard to get it perfectly where you want. You can see this one has a slight bit of an angle to it. I did my best to apply it perfectly squarely, but once the adhesive touches, you're done. Like, it sticks fast. So it works, but could probably use a little bit of an improvement. And then full frame works almost the exact same way. Basically, you take another phone case, it ships with this little cutout that has a magnet strip in this section right here, which you can see right here. And on the back of the magnet, there is some adhesive. And then what you do is you turn your camera on, you will align this dot so that you get a perfect, you look through your camera and you get a perfect circle in the middle of your lens. And then you can kind of mount this magnet wherever you want. I chose to mount it over here. And then you just press it down through this hole. This was a better application system than the on glass for being able to get the magnets perfectly where you want them, but obviously still slightly more difficult than the other three I showed. But just to go over quickly again, first place, MagView Mountain Mag All-In. Second place, on glass and full frame. Let's look at MagSafe compatibility. So as I mentioned before, there's this ring on the back of your phone. And what that allows you to do is use a magnetic charging station. But what it also allows you to do, much like this Mountain Mag adapter, this is a camera adapter I use that actually holds like little Arca plates, and then it also holds an SD drive that I put in here. I'm creating a backcountry iPhone filming rig that I'll do a video on here in the next few weeks. I'm kind of just perfecting it this winter. But basically, this adapter goes on the back of your phone. You can open this, you can put it in an SD drive, like I mentioned, you can put these Arca plates, and it allows you to kind of create a rig out of your iPhone. So there's two issues for MagSafe compatibility. One, does the magnetic charging still work? Because if you put magnets in front of magnets, even if you put the charger here, it's not going to charge through the other magnets. And then number two, if I was to use, even if the majority of the magnet is visible and I might be able to charge, can I put something like this on top? Or because there's this ridge here, is it not going to adhere, completely to the other magnets? So basically only one of these is fully MagSafe compatible, and that's the Mountain Mag. And the reason is you just take it off. So I put it on. Obviously, I can't use this adapter for my filming rig, and I can't charge it right now. But literally, I just flick this off. I can put a MagSafe charger on here, or I can put my filming adapter on there, no problem. So that's the only one that I am comfortable saying is 100% MagSafe compatible. Now, coming in at second place is the MagView, and that's because this plate is not the mag compatible plate, but you can buy a second plate, which is the same shape, but it has a circular cutout of the magnet where the internal iPhone magnet is, so that you can keep this case on your phone and still use a MagSafe charger. What I'm not sure of is how well it's gonna work with other MagSafe devices, which is why it's getting a 2 instead of a 1. And then tied at third place is full frame, all-in, and on glass. And that is because for both the full frame and the all-in, they use a device that protrudes from the back of your case. So you're never gonna get a good fit with any of these other third-party MagSafe devices. And the all-in doesn't have any magnets here at all, and the case blocks it from the magnets in the phone. So you cannot use a MagSafe charger in an all-in. Like my truck has a MagSafe charger in my little compartment right here. So if I just take my phone and slide it in, I don't have to plug it in, it just charges. If this phone is in this all-in case, it will not charge. So typically what I do is I leave my all-in case in my truck, and then when I get out of my truck and I'm gonna hunt wherever I hunt, I pop my phone out of this case, pop it in the all-in, do my hunt, week, 10 days, 2 days, whatever, come back to the truck, take it out of the case, put it back in this case, leave this one in my truck. But for those reasons, Mountain Mag is the only one that is fully MagSafe compatible, and the rest are kind of a variety of a little bit compatible to not compatible at all. Now let's check out ease of use. So if we take the all-in adapter and put it on here, it's got this great little red O that you line up with the top, and to use it, it literally just snaps on like that. And these magnets are aligned with these magnets, so it won't go on at an angle. It will only go on perfectly straight. So very easy to use the Ollin. Now also, the full frame, the mountain mag, and the on glass, I tied with first place for Ollin, because all of them, literally, once you put that adapter on, because of the magnet location in each of these devices, it literally just snaps into place. So they have varying degrees of complexity of installation, but once installed, the use itself is super easy. One exception, the MagView. And I personally just think this is lazy design. But there are no alignment characteristics between the magnets in this lens cover and the magnets on the back of your case. It can be here, 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 here. It can literally be anywhere. So what you have to do is you have to be looking through the camera in your phone as you slowly apply this. And then my buddy Ben told me a trick where he puts his pinky between the phone case and the magnets, and then you slowly get this so that it lines up perfectly. This is ridiculous. I just think this is piss poor design. If you already have magnets here and you already have magnets here, why would you not have some way of having a quick alignment ability? Now there is one benefit of this that I'm going to get into later, but MagView is by far the most difficult to use in the field. And if you've ever been in a situation where you're glassing all day, you finally see that animal of interest, you want to get some phone footage of them, either because you're going to take a shot, you want to record your follow-up, maybe you're just out scouting and this is just an awesome animal, but like the light is right, you're going to get a great shot of his horns. You end up fumbling around trying to get this thing on perfectly, whereas with something like the Ollin, you literally just slap it on, phone case gets slapped on, Bob's your uncle, you're off to the races. So MagView fails pretty hard in that category. Now we're gonna switch over to portrait landscape compatibility, because the majority of these are only designed to be used in either portrait or landscape mode. Now, I know I have different needs than other people, but because I create content, sometimes I want to film portrait because I'm going to post it to Instagram when I get home. Sometimes I want to film landscape because I film YouTube videos and I'm going to want to use that footage in my YouTube video, and it looks super janky when you put, vertical footage in a horizontal frame. And if you zoom in close enough, sometimes it'll make it too pixelated. So I gave a higher placing for adapters that allowed you an easier way to do portrait landscape. And I'm going to use Ollin as an example again. It won't go 10 degrees that way. It won't go 10 degrees that way. It will go perfectly portrait every time. Now here's the other beautiful thing. It will also go perfectly landscape every time. Do you see now why I'm so frustrated at MagView? Like, this was such a simple, I give a lot of credit for Ollin for this particular design feature. Like, it's beautiful. It's perfectly centered, portrait, landscape, cannot screw it up. So coming in for first place is Mountain Mag and Ollin. The other reason Mountain Mag comes in first place is that, again, we'll spin this one all the way in. You take one of your dots, put it right up at the top. Now, when you want to shoot portrait, it snaps in right portrait, and when you want to shoot landscape, it'll snap in perfectly landscape. So again, these are the only two adapters that will allow you, without taking anything off, to shoot portrait or landscape. Now, coming in at second place is the on glass, and the reason for that, when this is on your scope, this magnet here is going to align with this. So you could have this sideways and it's going to allow you to take a landscape shot. But if you want to then take a portrait, you kind of have to take this off, realign it, and put it back on. Now, not a deal breaker, but just not as intuitive as the Mountain Mag and the Ollin, so it comes in second place. In third place is the full frame, again, because you could just move this one way or another. Not as easily as the on glass because this is more difficult to get aligned once you take it off. And then coming in at fourth place is the MagView, because once you have the MagView installed, like I installed this for landscape, you can there's no way to get your camera over there for portrait. You would have to use a tool, uninstall this, rotate this, reinstall it, and then you would have the ability to shoot portrait. So it comes in last place. Now the last category that we're gonna talk about, and one of the reasons this review took so long, is 5x lens compatibility. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's use my iPhone here as an example. So there are 3 lenses on the back of this phone. Now, most times when you are taking a photograph or taking video, it uses computational photography. So it actually collects data from all 3 lenses and then creates the best image possible. But you can isolate these lenses. Natively, this is a 13mm lens, or it'll show up as 0.5x. It's your ultra wide angle lens. This is a 24mm lens, which is like your normal 1x lens. And then this is a 5x lens. This is a 15 Pro Max, or 120mm lens. Now I want to take a moment and describe to you the difference between optical zoom and digital zoom. Very big deal. Optical zoom is like a spotting scope. When you go from 20x to 60x, you are using the power of magnification to actually get more detail out of the scene that you're looking at and capture more detail. So it's like switching lenses on a camera. If you switch from a 35mm lens to a 100mm lens, you are going to capture more data from further away. You are going to have more information in that image. That is an optical zoom. A digital zoom, the best way to describe it, the best analogy is like take your phone, take a picture, and then zoom in. You're not capturing any more data. You're literally just looking at that data closer. That's why the more you zoom in, the more pixelated it gets. Which is why once you put your phone on your phone scope adapter, there's really no point zooming in or out. You could always do that later in post if you wanted to, because you're not capturing any more data, with one exception. If you can isolate this 5x lens on the back of your phone, it's like putting a 5x multiplier on your spotting scope. Like, you know those doublers you can buy for spotting scopes? This serves the exact same purpose. So essentially, if you took 20x on your spotting scope and used a 5x lens, you basically turn your spotting scope from 20x to 100x. Now, there are still limitations based on the objective size, the clarity of the prism, all that other kind of stuff. It's not perfect. But if you're glassing something 1.5 miles away and you have the ability to capture data into your phone with a 1x 24mm lens or a 5x 120mm lens, which lens do you think is going to capture the better image? Now, of all of these adapters, only one of them has the ability to do this easily. The other one, you can kind of bubble gum and duct tape to make it happen. So this is the reason for these 2 different adapters on the back of the mountain mag. In this position, you put it on your spotting scope and you're going to utilize the 24mm lens. And in this position, it's going to utilize the 120mm lens. Now there's a couple caveats. The native camera app on an iPhone is not the best at isolating the 5x lens. It will still try and use computational photography and you'll get a weird image. I use Black Magic Camera. It's a free third-party app. There's another app I believe called Final Cut or Final Camera that's also third-party that will allow you to isolate this lens. So you need to do a little bit of research and you need to change a couple settings. But essentially, the ability that it gives you to access that 5x lens is fantastic. Another quick tip, if you're on an iPhone and you see the little flower show up in the lower left-hand corner when you're taking a picture or a video, that's telling you that it's using computational photography. If you shut that off, it will then limit to whatever particular lens that you're on. Still doesn't work perfectly for 5X, works sometimes, doesn't work others. So I've personally found it better to use a third-party app that will give you more control over those lenses. Now, I was pretty rough on the MagView earlier, and I will say that the only benefit of the MagView is you can manually place it over the 1X lens or over the 5X lens. But again, it's very challenging to do so. You need to lock it down to 5X before you put it on, and then you kind of have to do this like perfect centering position right before you go. And with all these other simple systems, I personally see no reason why you would use MagView. Okay, that's it. We just looked at 10 different categories across 5 different adapters. Now we can go look at the final scores. But again, one more quick update before we do. I just launched another massive giveaway for Mindful Reviews. This is the online community platform that I built from scratch. For any gear nerds who are interested in a community of individuals who are supportive and engaging, you can join for as little as $5 a month. We have great forums, lots of people looking to help. We're almost at 400 members, and anyone who enters between now and May 1st will be automatically entered to win a pair of SIG SAUER Zulu 10 15 power binoculars. So again, head over to Mindful-Reviews, choose your subscription plan. You can join for as little as $5 a month, and you're automatically entered to win those binoculars as long as you join before May 1st. Okay, let's go over the final scores. At first place, we have Mountain Mag with a score of 16. Second place, On Glass with a score of 20. Tied for third place is Ollin and Full Frame with a score of 22. And last place is MagView with a score of 23. So what are my kind of final thoughts, recommendations? Everybody's going to kind of have their own opinion. And if you have any one of these and it works great for you, excellent. Have at it. Keep using it. The Mountain Mag really stood apart for me. It is one of the most lightweight, well-designed options. It's not perfect. There might still be a couple things that I would change about it. I don't like that you have to take this adapter off every time to glass. It would be great if there was a workaround solution for that. And maybe some people can glass through this hole. I just did not find it workable. But overall, super simple system. Very easy to install, very easy to use. And really the two big deals for me that only this adapter does, it retains full MagSafe compatibility, both for charging and for other third-party devices. And it allows me to use that 5X lens. In addition to that, you do not have to get a special case or permanently alter any of your cases. Like if you look at all these other cases, they have these, bumps on the back of them that make them not sit straight. The MagView one's not bad, but it's a little unsightly and you can't use mag stuff. So for those reasons, my recommendation as far as the best phone scope adapter I have used yet for 2025 is the Mountain Mag. Now coming in at number 2, and it was very close. And in fact, the Mountain Mag only came out a month or 2 ago. And up until that point, this one I'm about to share as number 2 was my favorite of all of these. And that is the On Glass. I really like this one. The magnets are very strong. The alignment is perfect. I love that there's only 8 different sizes of adapters, so maybe you're in a situation where you don't have to use 2. It's a little more affordable than the Mountain Mag. It's about $135 for the Mountain Mag, and it's only $105 for the On Glass. So if MagSafe compatibility is not super important to you, and your 5X lens isn't super important to you, and you want to save yourself $30, I think the On Glass is a fantastic choice. The next one that I want to recommend is Ollin. Now, this is the most expensive adapter here, and it's the only one that requires you to use a proprietary phone case. But I know a lot of old dudes in hunting, and this is idiot proof. This is like, you don't have to be techie, you don't have to understand anything. You literally take this, slide it on your spotting scope, take this, slap it on the thing, you're taking pictures and video. It also has the nicest fit and finish. Like, these guys are all these other guys are small companies. They're either young guys just starting out, they've got a few products released each. They are not like Apple grade quality production. They all kind of have their own little issues that haven't been, perfected yet as far as their production goes. The Ollin, on the other hand, is just slick. Like, it's beautiful, it's well constructed, but it's also expensive. But if you don't mind that it's $185 and you're looking for like the idiot-proof point and click solution, or you want to buy one for your dad and any of these other ones having to put on magnets and do weird stuff is going to confuse the hell out of them, get him the Ollin and forget about it, because anybody can use this thing. Finally, I will say there are some elements I really like about full frame. It's only $75. It's literally less than half the cost of the Ollin for the entire setup. So if you are in ultra low budget mode, the full frame is a fantastic option. It's a little finicky, it's a little tough to get aligned perfectly, but it's gonna work on every single device you have, and it only costs $75. So for that reason, my budget recommendation is the full frame. The only one here that I am not gonna recommend under any situation whatsoever is the MagView. Like, again, I've been using all of these for 7 months with the exception of the Mountain Mag, which I only got 2 months ago, but I've been using it religiously since I got it. The Mountain Mag is just trash. The fact that this thing doesn't line up, the fact that this floppy thing gets in the way of your face, how heavy it is, the fact that you need tools to install it. It is my least favorite of the 5, and personally, it's also $175. So except for the Ollin, and sorry, I screwed that up earlier. The Ollin is only $175. It's the second most expensive. The MagView is the most expensive. So in my opinion, why would you pay the most amount of money for the least amount of features? So definitely do not recommend the MagView. Under different circumstances, I recommend every single one of the other 4. And if you want to know my editor's pick and the one I'm going to be using moving forward, it is the Mountain Mag. All the links for all of these will be down below. Thoughts, feedback, comments, you want to chime in what you like or didn't like, disagree with me, drop it all in the comments section below. If you could hit the like and subscribe button, any engagement whatsoever really helps push this video up in the algorithm. YouTube does not do a great job of encouraging hunting or gear-based content on YouTube. And again, spring, any weapon, black bear hunts are available in BC. Give me a shout, jay@mindfulhunter.com, and head on over to Mindful-Reviews, join up, and you'll automatically be entered to win a new pair of SIG SAUER 15 power binoculars. And as always, thank you for tuning in.